What's up, everybody? It's Austin Hull from Austin Hull Audio and Visual and Make Pop Music, and we're back again with more content for you this week. So this week we're actually going to switch it up and do a little something different. It's not going to be me delivering this video today. It's actually going to be our good friend Christopher Siu. He's a piano instructor and a theory teacher, and so he's actually coming on our channel to start breaking down pop songs so he can go over chord structures, the theory behind them, how to use those chords in your song, how to modify those chords. So we're going to be doing a whole series with him, and on today's video he's going to be breaking down Wish You Were Gay by Billie Eilish. So he will be going over the chords that they use, the progression, the theory behind those chords, and then he kind of just modifies it to show you, exactly what's going on and how to break that down and use it in your own song. So we're really excited to have him onto the channel. We think that he's going to be a really, really good addition for this series because while I teach production, I don't have an extensive theory background. He's actually my piano teacher that I've hired to just teach me lessons privately. So I'm really, really excited to have him on here to do more of the theory stuff, more of the classical stuff. I think that it's going to be a really nice change for the channel. So if you like the video, definitely let us know that you like it so we can keep having him back. Like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you like his content, go check out his channel. He has a channel that we'll link in the description below. So go check out his channel, go check out his website. If you need any scoring or orchestral work done, definitely hit him up. And if you're looking for a piano teacher or a theory teacher, he does do Skype lessons and they're killer. I've been doing them now for like 5 weeks. And honestly, I'm getting so much better just lesson by lesson. So we're really, really excited to have him. Big thanks to Christopher for being here, and definitely go support him. In addition, some of y'all might have saw our newest Instagram post or the t-shirt that I'm wearing. So we actually have been working on some merch just because people have been requesting it. So what we're doing is we're building up designs right now. We've got like 8 that we're ready to launch. We just need to get the website done, and then we're going to go ahead and launch it. Once we launch it, you'll be able to purchase all of the Make Pop Music merchandise. We'll have t-shirts, hoodies. We might even do like wall prints if you guys want. Really, whatever you guys want, we'll kind of make happen. And 100% of the proceeds will actually go to the foundation Hungry for Music. So all of it's going to be donated. We're not really going to keep a dime over what it costs to actually print the t-shirt. So once we launch them, definitely go support that. It'll be a fun way to just have some Make Pop Music merch and kind of give back to the music community. So without further ado, let's actually hop into Chris's video and let's break down Wish You Were Gay by Billie Eilish.
What's up, everybody? Hope you're having an awesome day today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a pop song, and this is a new track from Billie Eilish, and we're going to be doing kind of a chord deconstruction, and I'm going to kind of explain the elements behind it and why it works, and a little bit of the music theory behind it. So let's dive right in. Unfortunately, I'm not going to play the actual track just for copyright reasons. YouTube tends to claim the ones that feature copyrighted music in them. So all I'm going to do is just play the chords for you, and if you haven't heard it, I would definitely check it out. I'll put it in the description box below first so you can check it out, and then come back and we'll talk about the chords here. So let's dive right in. This is not our typical pop song, by the way. In terms of the chords themselves, she's not just using basic major and minor triads. The cool thing is that you can use sevenths and sixths and all these other notes to kind of spice things up. So, jazz, for example, is a really common example that uses extensions, as is what they're called. So instead of just basic triads and sevenths, there's also 9s, 11s, and 13s. Now, this is not a jazzy song, but it is, however, a more like R&B kind of focused song. Like, it has these different chord qualities to it that are not just major and minor. And so while they're not overly complex, it's more than just the major and minor triad. So let me just go over these 4 chords and kind of explain what they are. Now, just a small disclaimer before I play the chords is that, there are small variations to the chords throughout the whole song. However, the basic 4 chords do stay the same. So here we go. What I should do is pull up my virtual MIDI piano keyboard. All right, here we go. Let me play them first, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, so what are these 4 chords? The first one is an A minor 7th. So actually, let me go into each of these chords and describe the basic triad first, and then we'll talk about the extension, or the 7th. The basic chord is A minor. So the first one is A minor. The second chord is D major. I can play it up here. So what I'm doing in my left hand is I'm playing D and A, so the root and the 5th. In the right hand, I'm doing the D major triad, so D, F sharp, and A. Okay. The third chord is a G major chord. So G, D, G, B, D. And then the final chord is E minor. So E, G, B. Now, an easy way to practice this at first when you're learning the chords to a piece or a song is actually play the triads in both hands. So if it's A minor, just play an A minor triad in the left hand and at the same time play an A minor triad in the right hand. Then the next chord will be D major. Next chord is G major, and then E minor. Right? Now, if you're wondering what key the song is in, I would say it's in G major. Just because, like, when you hear this song, there's not a really full ending point or a point where the listener feels like, okay, I really hit home, because the first chord is actually not the one chord. It actually is the two chord. So I would say this the song is in G major because when we hit the third chord, the G major, so 2, 5, 1. Now here we actually feel like we've landed somewhere, and then after that it departs and goes back to the 2 chord. Do you kind of feel how the third chord almost feels like you've arrived somewhere? So whenever we get that feeling, we can assume that the song is probably in that key. Now it is different for every song, of course, but it's kind of a general rule of thumb that, you know, wherever you feel like you've hit home or you've reached a target where it feels comfortable, that's where the tonic or the first note of the key of the song is. Okay? So now that we've covered the basic triads, so A minor, D major, G major, E minor, let's also talk about the added notes now. The first chord is A minor 7th. So instead of just an A minor triad, we also have a G on the top. So this is called an A minor 7. It's an A minor triad with the 7th note up from A minor. So from A, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there is our A minor 7, okay? The next chord is a D dominant 7, or D7 you can say. So you have a D major triad, but you also have the C on top to give you your dominant 7th. Now the way to find any dominant 7th is pretty easy. All you do is you play that chord, that major triad, then you go up 3 half steps from the top note. So from the A you go up 1, 2, 3, and that's how you get your dominant 7th, okay? The third chord is our G major 7. Okay, and now the way to get the major 7th is you play your major triad and you go up 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, and that is a major 7th. So from G to the F sharp, that interval is actually called a major 7th. So, you know, there's a G major 7. Okay, and finally we have our E minor chord. I don't think this one has any 7ths or anything added onto it, so I think it's just a basic E minor chord. But maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe in the song there's a D added in there somewhere to make it an E minor 7. That's not as important. So the first chord again is A minor 7, D dominant 7th, or D7, G major 7, and E minor. And those are our 4 chords. Okay? Let's quickly talk about the theory really quickly. So, if I had to say each of the 4 chords in terms of its scale degree or the position of each chord in the scale, it would be 2, 5, 7. So I should say 2 minor 7, 5, 7, 1 major 7, and then 6, which is minor. Now, you'll notice that we have 2, 5, 1. And 2, 5, 1 is the typical jazz chord progression. So 2, 5, 7 to 1, 7. That's a very typical jazz thing. So once you get that, then you resolve to the 6, which naturally goes back to the 2. So I just wanted to point that out. Like 2, 5, 1 is something you'll find all over the place in jazz music. And if you're not aware, 5, especially 5, 7 or dominant 7th, really loves going back to 1. And the reason for that is because if we just play a 5 to 1, the voice leading, or the way the voices go, is that the dominant, or the 5, will like to go back to the 1. The 4, or the third note, the third of the chord will want to go resolve up to the tonic, or the 1 of the scale. And the second note of the scale, or the 5th of the dominant chord, will want to resolve down to the scale, or down to the tonic of the scale. So it's all about voice leading. If I was to resolve this D major chord to a G major, what I would do is I would go D to G, because that has to go back to 1. Now the F sharp would go up to G, and the A also goes down to G. So you actually end up with only two notes if you're just talking about strict voice leading, just like that. However, when you have a dominant 7th, this note here, which is the 4th note of the G major scale, wants to resolve down to the 3rd of the scale. So now it makes things a little more interesting. Now the D goes to the G, the F sharp goes to the G, the A goes to the G, but now the C resolves down to the B. You know? So there you get an additional note, which is the 3rd of that chord, and it just works out very well. You know? So this is kind of just, classical voice leading rules. Definitely more complex chords have different variations on how they resolve and things like that. And if you find you don't have enough voices in the chord to, resolve to, then you can add in those voices. You don't always have to follow the rules, but whenever you can, it's great. So that's pretty much it. This song is comprised of those 4 chords. Okay, I just had a quick listen to the chorus of the song here, because I remember that when I was listening to it, there were kind of some passing notes or transition notes back to the first chord there, the 2, the A minor. So what that is, we have the 2, 7, we have the dominant 7th, we have the major 7th, and then the 6th, then the bass goes. So from E, instead of jumping back to the A, it actually goes up to the F sharp, then to G, then it goes back to A, just like that. And you can see here, it just makes it a little more smooth when you transition and go up to the notes of the scale, right? Instead of just jumping from this note to that note, it just makes it smoother. So just something to note here, it goes from the 6th up to the 7th, the leading note, to the tonic, and then back to the 2 chord, just like that. And again, the purpose is really just to, I guess, one, have some smoothness when you're going from one chord to the next, but the other purpose is also to keep the momentum going. Because if you just have one chord every 4 beats, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, then there's a lot of empty space in between, unless you have some other textures going on. So in this case, it goes like dun 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 on that last chord, so that's what gives it a little bit more interest. But that's pretty much it. That is the chords for Wish You Were Gay. And please let me know if you have any questions down in the comments below. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave your requests down in the comments below. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. So have a good day, everybody, and see you then. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Once again, I would like to thank Chris so much for being here. We really, really appreciate him making the content for this channel. He has worked on more videos that we'll have in the near future for you guys, so definitely stay tuned for that. Subscribe to our channel, subscribe to his, and let us know if there's any songs that you want to see Chris come and break down on our channel or break down on his channel, because he's always looking for stuff to kind of get into and get into the nitty-gritty. He did an Ariana Grande one on his channel that's absolutely killer, so go check that out. We'll link that in the description below as well. But if you guys want to see more of these videos, let us know. Let us know what content you want to see in the future, and we'll be back with videos Tuesdays and Thursdays, so definitely subscribe to the channel. We've got a bunch of stuff coming for you guys, but I appreciate you. We will see you next time. Much love, make pop music. Peace out.